From Relay, this is Connected, episode 571. Today's show is brought to you by Steam Clock, Gusto, and Ecamm. I am your Ricky Benchman, Federico Viticci, and it's my pleasure to be joined by Steven. Hello, Steven.
That's Relay co-founder champion, Steven.
Yes, Relay co-founder champion with... Well, we can talk about that later. Yes, congratulations, Steven, and welcome.
And I'm joined by Mike. He doesn't have
Hello.
any adjectives.
I do. I'm the draft champion. I'm the upgrade draft champion.
It's a different podcast.
Oh, I need to put my belt down. My belt's still up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, take that down, son.
Belt needs to come down. Although you could call me the man of physical domination, which is what was exerted upon you throughout the entire podcast-a-thon until the end.
And then if you have not seen the last 11 minutes of the podcast-a-thon, go watch it. We're going to talk more about St. Jude in a second, but go watch it because what you will see is a feat that no one expected to happen. And if I had 100 tries, I could not do again.
Me and Brad were just talking about this on the Pen Addict. I don't think anyone's ever done it before, and I don't think anyone in human history will ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen did one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And is therefore deserving of the championship, even though he was physically dominated for 12 hours or 11 hours and 50 minutes.
I don't like the way you keep saying physically dominated.
Why? I mean, there were physical challenges, and I dominated him. Especially to an old person. I don't really like that. It's elder. It's like physically dominating an elder.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Well,
obviously the final, 10, 12 minutes of yes, it's worth every penny if it were a paid live stream, which is not. But you can donate. You can donate.
It's worth every penny we raised.
And hopefully, you can donate more than pennies.
All of the pennies.
Oh, we should just talk about that now.
How much is a penny? How much is a penny? By the way, 1 cent.
What does that mean? Oh, it's a cent. Yeah. I was like, what does that mean? Like in another currency?
Yeah.
It's a cent. There are 100 pennies in a dollar.
Okay.
If you're wondering, what in the world are these guys talking about? September's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. We're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. As of this recording, we're at $530,000 raised for the month, which is incredible. Coming up on $4.6 million raised since 2019. So awesome. We do this because St. Jude's life-saving mission is to take these kids with pediatric cancer and other catastrophic diseases and make them better and care for their families in the process, and take all the research and learnings they have here in Memphis at the hospital and spread them worldwide, to send cancer medication to countries worldwide, to share research freely worldwide. It is such an important thing. St. Jude was founded by Danny Thomas. You can go read about Danny Thomas, fascinating story. But his vision was that no child would die in the dawn of life. And as someone who has stared down that barrel, I can tell you, it is terrifying, even when you have the best medicine available to you. And even when you're not paying for it, it is still super scary. So yes, we are raising money for St. Jude, but we do this because these families like mine who have faced pediatric childhood cancer, they need medicine, they need treatment, they need travel and lodging, but they also need hope. They need to know that people have their back. And that's what this is all about. And Mike, you were just in Memphis last week. We spoke about the podcast-a-thon. Tell us a little bit about kind of what this has meant to you this month.
So I've had lots of great experiences at St. Jude, not just doing the podcast-a-thon, but being able to go to places and see things on the massive campus. We've been to some of the buildings where some of the really incredible science is being done, and we've got to speak to researchers and see the equipment that they're used. But this time was extra special because we got to go to a patient area again, which is something that I've not experienced for maybe nearly 10 years. The hospital is very, understandably, I would say, cautious about having just people from the street essentially be in the hospital, right? It's not, whilst it is an incredible place, it is not a museum, right? You don't just go and look around. That's not what it's about. But we because of the work that we're doing, that St. Jude wanted us to see a new facility that's on the campus called the Domino's Village, which is a housing facility that is on the campus. Like throughout its history, St. Jude has had lots of housing programs, because we talk about the fact that if you have to travel to St. Jude, you don't pay for travel, you don't pay for housing. Like they take care of all of that for you. Food as well. Like it's all covered because they don't want you worrying about those things. Like they'll look after you while you're with them. But the housing has been spread out all over the place, and what they wanted to do was to create something that felt like a home, like homes for people, not hotels, but homes, but then be walkable to the treatment that the children needed. So they created Domino's Village, and it was amazing. Like to be taken on this tour, to be shown what one of the units looked like, one of the 2-bedroom units, but they have 1 and 3-bedroom units too for larger families. But then to walk around and see the places where you can go and eat, because all your meals are catered, you don't have to worry about that. And they have these really cool dining rooms where I'm sure that all the kids are playing together. Like we were there kind of in the middle of the day, and I don't remember, one of the group asked where are all the kids, and the answer is, well, they're in treatment right now, because that's what they're doing every day. Like that is how you beat this stuff. We did see a couple of kids walking around, and it really hurt my heart, because you see these kids and you can see what they're going through. And, in general, this year has been much more emotional for me, because now I have my own child to in my mind of what that would feel like. But going around and seeing this environment, it was so inspiring, and it just again was well, this is why we do this. We work together to try and raise money for this institution to make sure that these kids are going to be cool, and that they're going to be saved, and that their lives are going to be improved, and in the meantime that they're going to be able to try and feel like kids to the best that they can. So it was a very special trip. Yeah.
So we would love for you to visit the link in the show notes. The first link, it goes to stjude.org/relay and donate. There are a couple other things on the page. You can see all the really cool donation incentives. We got a screensaver and stickers, and if you have your own campaign, coins. But there's also sections in this yellow box about employer matching gifts and donor-advised fund giving. So be sure to check those out. There's still a bit of September left, so we want to push this. stjude.org/relay. Okay, follow up.
Yes.
Joe is back!
No.
Oh, God.
No.
The screens are green!
All of this.
God.
I don't want any. All of this, I don't want it. Why? I'm sure we have had. I would just like to confirm, by the way, there's a link in the show notes that I clicked, and it said removed by moderator.
Yes. Oh, no.
I am so happy
it was here.
that the moderator of r/iPhone agrees that conversations about green screens is a pointless conversation to have.
For a second, I thought, in the kindness of my heart, I thought, I will indulge Stephen one more time. And I clicked the link, and it said removed. What are we even talking about?
There was a report by a Reddit user
Sure.
who apparently got their post taken down by, honestly, censorship. This is censorship. And
Sure.
So I went down the rabbit hole of this last night. Apple, according to these people who have spent time on this, has 3 different OLED providers this year, and some of them have a green tint off axis, if you're looking down from the top of the phone. It keeps haunting them.
Why has it been removed?
Censorship.
Okay.
Censorship.
Big OLED.
Print a card.
Big OLED.
Big OLED.
Big OLED
color
came down
from
on
big
them.
color.
Yeah, we can do this the
Yeah.
easy way or the hard way, and they chose the
wait, which one is this? Is
Hard
it
to
the
say.
easy way or the hard way?
hard to say.
Okay.
That's all.
I really hope we don't have to talk about this anymore. But it feels like it's going to keep coming up, isn't it? So excited about this.
It's a evergreen topic
Mm.
because
Love
the
it.
phones are
Good
always
work.
green.
No, we got it. You really didn't need to do that, but thank you. Boys, I'm back on the Apple Watch.
That was fast.
Oh. Wait.
Well,
when
yeah.
did you leave?
We had this conversation.
2 weeks ago.
When?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, maybe.
yeah. I wasn't really myself 2 weeks ago. So yeah,
That's
okay.
true. And maybe the most of this conversation may have happened on episodes that you weren't on. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
no,
I
I'm
stopped wearing the
sorry.
Apple Watch. I've not been wearing the Apple Watch for a few weeks. But the war has been lost because I was told in no uncertain terms last night, you keep missing my messages. Put your Apple Watch back on. And I was like, okay.
It's pretty rude of Casey to say that, honestly.
Right.
I know,
I mean,
but
wow,
he's very needy.
I
He's very
didn't
needy.
know your daughter was already talking, but
She's
cool.
texting. She's texting.
Yeah.
I did send. So basically, Adina needed something, and I don't know what I was doing. I think I was washing up or something, and so my phone was like in my pocket. I didn't feel it, and it was a message sent, and then subsequently 2 more messages that were just question marks, and then you know it's bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, messed up. So I was like, okay. Hands up. I was like, I immediately went and updated it and transferred it to my new phone. So I'm wearing the Apple Watch again. Today, I went through notifications, turned off like as many apps as possible. I'm going to try and really make this thing as least distracting as I can. But I'm back on the Apple Watch. Let me tell you, I don't know if maybe this got overlooked or whatever, but boy, liquid glass looks horrific on the watch.
Does it?
I think it's so bad. The notifications look terrible. Like, it's not a legibility thing. I just don't think it looks good. Like the bubbles are way too, like, it's all refraction because it's so small. I really don't like it.
I kind of like it best on the Apple Watch.
I don't like it. I do not like it. Like, I think, yeah, I am in general a big fan of liquid glass. I do not like it on the Apple Watch. And also, so I guess this is a new thing, right? The widget, like, suggestions.
Yes. Well, it was there
My
last
word.
year, I think.
Well, something's going on because it will not stop trying to give me apps that I don't use. Like, you don't need to recommend the podcast app to me because I never use the podcast app. Like, so stop putting it in there. Like, here it is. I don't want it. Go away. So part of this might be, I don't know, because I've installed it on a new phone. Like, I don't know if maybe some of my preferences didn't carry over. I don't know. It should have done, but my experience has not been awesome so far. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of liquid glass on the Apple Watch. I
have some unrelated Apple Watch follow-up about something that's been driving me crazy for the past year, to the point where Sylvia and I actually got into multiple arguments because of this, until I finally figured it out this morning. I couldn't figure out why, even though I had sleep mode enabled on my Apple Watch, my display would keep waking up at night in Sylvia's face, and thus waking her up, and thus getting me in trouble. Big trouble. She's a light sleeper, as we've established on this show and on my other gaming podcasts, and any light source needs to be carefully managed. Couldn't figure it out. I spent weeks trying these automations, like when this focus mode enables set theater mode, but that was also kind of flaky. And then last night, woke her up again, and this morning I was like, I need to figure this out. Like, this is gonna be a problem. Like, I gotta stop wearing the Apple Watch at night if I cannot figure it out. There is a setting. So if you have the sleep focus enabled, you need to go into settings, focus, sleep. Then you need to scroll this page. Under the customize screens section of this page, there's an options sub page. Now, it's weird because you see an options page before this one. There are 2 buttons labeled options in this page. You need to select the second one. And in the second one, mine had the setting called sleep screen, for some reason, turned off. I turned it on, and now it
goes black, right? Like,
it goes black.
Basically, it kind of works like cinema mode or whatever.
Yes.
So here's my theory as to why that maybe wasn't working for you. I wonder if at some point you set a custom watch face for sleep.
Who knows?
Maybe that turned it off.
Who knows?
I don't know.
This is
But
also
that would be
fiddly.
annoying.
Like,
That is, it is very funny to have 2 options. There's 2 sets
it's
of
2
options.
options. Like,
options.
I don't love the entire focus management UI And especially the sleep scheduling stuff, I really don't like.
Everything to do with settings with the Apple Watch is bad.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
I just right now wanted to turn off podcasts as one of the recommendations in my Smart Stack.
Yeah, good
And
luck.
so you have to go to like edit and then scroll all the way down to the bottom of widget suggestions, and then like the way that some of this. I remember this was like in one of the Mac Stories reviews from years ago. I don't remember who wrote the Apple Watch review that year. It might have been Alex.
Maybe Alex, yeah.
Where he was describing the way of like turning these things on and off, and like you could do half of it on the iPhone and half of it on the watch.
Yes.
Of like, and it's just like the way that like we've been through this before, right? Like if you want to get your battery health, it's in the battery settings on the watch, not in the phone app.
Gets me every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, has anyone ever successfully and automatically installed a software update on the Apple Watch without it failing at least multiple times over the course of multiple days?
Or just taking like just an incredible amount of time.
And then you say, well, do it overnight. And it says, yes, I'll do it overnight.
It never does. It
like,
never does.
What are you doing? I don't get it.
Speaking of updates, I have not installed Tahoe yet, just because I just haven't gotten around to it. But I am curious specifically for Steven's opinions on it. I'm wondering if you've even attempted it, Federico, because I heard you and John talking about that bug.
I've done it on the MacBook Pro. I still haven't done it on the Mac Studio.
Is it possible yet? Because I know there was like a bug with the Ultra, right?
Obviously, will not do it right now.
That would be hilarious.
In theory, I can do it, but
whether it works or not, who knows?
I do not want to.
No, that's not too
close.
That's not too. Stephen, what are your top line thoughts on Tahoe? Steven?
Oh, wow!
I was muted. Tahoe muted me.
Yeah,
censorship.
Sure it did.
I thought it was a bit. Okay.
I was just muted, but we can leave it in if we want to.
No.
Or not. It's up to Jim. I don't think it looks very good. The liquid glass, particularly in window materials like tabs and sidebars and toolbars, just doesn't look cohesive with anything else. Like, oh, we brought our design everywhere. It's like, no, you didn't. Like, you just put gray oval buttons everywhere. Like, there's no liquidiness hardly anywhere. The app switcher looks cool. It does some of the refraction stuff. All the windows are really rounded. There was some feedback in the feedback form. Is like, I tried to open a PDF in Preview, and like what I needed was in the corner, and Preview's window had like obscured it because the radius is so big. It's like, oh yes, we want you to see your content. It's like, no, you want me to see your stupid window radius. Not impressed with the design. I think it's very clearly the one that got the least amount of time and effort, which is disappointing. Feature-wise, though, there's some really interesting stuff. Like Spotlight is really interesting. I have been using it now for a week or so instead of Alfred. It's too early to say which way I'll go, but it does a lot of stuff that these third-party launchers and search tools can do now, which is great. The Actions thing is cool, but a little tedious. It's like I could just open messages and type to Federico as fast as I could say, messages, Federico, hi, buddy. You know, like it's cool. Yeah. It's a building block.
He does that often, by the way.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy. I'm testing something. Hey, buddy.
No, Steven's the worst when he just texts, hey.
Hey.
He does that. I hate it.
Okay, so let me clarify this because it's something that in general annoys me very much in life. Steven, are you one of those people who... So you want something from someone and you want to issue that request over a text message.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of those people who checks if the other person is responding to you before actually sending your question?
Oh, like a feeler text.
I have this person in my life who, whenever he needs to ask me a question, he just texts, hey.
Yeah, Steven
and then doesn't actually send the question though.
I don't know why he does it. I don't know if it's a feeler thing, but Steven does this, like this exact thing.
I'm also bad about what could be one text message having like 3 in a row, like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I think we all do that. That's like instant message culture.
That's
right.
That's fine though, because then now you can reply to the individual message.
Yeah.
So that's okay, I think. What I find really annoying is that, like, let me gauge upfront whether I want to interact with you depending on the question that you send me, instead of just saying, hey, as a way to check if I'm online and ready for you or not. You know?
You got to start with the thing you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Stephen does this. He'll send a hey message. He says hey.
No,
And it's
you gotta
usually
stop.
followed up with bad news.
Not
And
always.
so then every time you get a hey, it's like, well, here
You're
we
like,
go.
oh,
Here it
okay.
comes.
And you got to
Okay.
wait for him to write it. You're like, Stephen is typing. And you're like, oh, great. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no. Bad habit. Stop doing that.
Stop doing that. Going back to Tahoe, the icons being forced in round recs sucks. Like, it takes so much fun out of the icons. Apple's apparently really bad at icon design. Like, the applications utilities folder is just a straight on disaster of icons that used to be useful that are now no longer useful. However, the image capture icon is delightful. I'll put a link in the show notes to a screenshot of it. Super awesome the way that came out. But the other stuff, not so great.
Okay.
Usability is fine. Like, things work. It's just not
Do you use Spotlight? Are you using Spotlight?
for a week now. We'll see if that sticks
Okay.
around. I can't tell if what I don't like about it is 10 years of Alfred muscle memory that I have to relearn, or things I actually don't like about it. So I'm going to give it some more time.
Okay. That's the thing I'm most excited about, Spotlight.
Yeah, I think it has really great potential as if the actions continue to flow in and they make it a little bit more fluid to use.
And the shortcuts automations as well. I'm excited about those. Just before we leave, follow up. I'm just putting in the show notes a link to just a great post from Alison Johnson of The Verge on Threads. It's a screenshot of Imran Chaudhri, who was one of the founders of Humane, standing in front of a HP logo, saying with the subtitles, "Breakthroughs like the Omnibook 5 series delivering the world's longest battery life." It's just like, what a ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What a ride. Now here he is talking about battery life. And he just wanted us to see how much nutritional value was in some almonds, you know?
Yeah.
And there we are.
Or the he and his wife met like a spiritual guru on a cliff, and like, what should we build? And the
Battery
guru
life.
said the AI pen, and now he's pitching HP laser jets.
Yep.
It's a bummer.
Life comes at you fast, I guess.
It does.
Mm-mm.
It does. It's something else. Oh, one more thing in Tahoe I want to say. I'm sorry. I just remembered.
Oh.
Safari, also really ugly. And the thing that kills me, because it's something I do all the time, is if you have a pop-up in like a hey, I'm deleting some stuff, like a warning in Safari. It also highlights the tab bar and all the buttons at the top of the UI. Like, why? Like, it just, Safari's hideousness is too much. It's not good.
So overall, you are not happy about Tahoe.
Not with the
vibe I'm
redesign.
getting.
I think the redesign's a swing and a miss.
Okay. Federico, how was the response been to your review, your iOS review?
It was great. It was really good, and I'm very happy about it. I was kind of concerned that, and I'm still very tired. I was concerned that I wouldn't get it done in time, or that I don't know, or that I failed to estimate the time that it would take me. But no, I the time estimation was good. Like, I was able to finish it in just the right amount of time, with all the kind of like the level of detail that I wanted. So I am personally happy with it. And it seems that people are really happy with it. Like the tone, the style, the detail, even though, a lot of people disagree with me and my take on liquid glass. At the very least, they said that it was interesting, so that, and that it was informative, even though they disagree with the opinion. So, and that's what a review should be, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I am really happy, and I wrote about this in the Mac Stories Weekly newsletter. really happy with the sort of AI based workflow that I used for like to help me, so that I could just focus, like as I wrote, like lock myself in a room, get 40,000, almost 40,000 words done, and get as much help as possible from the AI. And these new AIs that are sort of grounding themselves in web search results to help me with research and actual, actual search results from the web instead of hallucinations. I'm happy about that balance of like there were a ton of people involved, including me, my editor, the people who helped me, but also getting some help from the robots. That was good. That was good, and definitely something that will continue. I did fail to estimate, if anything, just how tired I would be after that, because not only did I have to finish the review, but also write the making of story. And as a result, I wanted to have these Apple Intelligence shortcuts and drafts actions out this week. But I just cannot do it. I need to sleep. That is the simple truth. Like I gotta sleep, and I'm sorry, but I'll get them delivered to people, who signed up for the review. They signed up. A bunch of people signed up for a month, which I super appreciate. I'll get them delivered to them, obviously within their 1 month trial, if they decide to remain just for 1 month. But and I do have my shortcuts. I'm just very tired, so that's something that gets me every year. I get it done in time, but I fail to estimate how I'm gonna feel after, and that is something that I gotta work on, because I know, it's like, yeah, sure, I'll get the review and then I'll work on these and these extras, but then I always forget. Oh, you're tired. You need to sleep.
It could be argued that maybe the extras are a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe,
I get why they exist, but it's maybe the wrong time to be working on extra stuff.
And we'll see next year, but now I'm on the hook for these ones, so I'll do them. I mean, I know I have the shortcuts. I'm using them myself, so that's not the issue. I just something that I want to improve next year is, and especially like in the final days of the review, just feeling a little more relaxed is what I would like to accomplish, because the final day, like I've been able to keep relatively a stress-free life for the whole thing, except the final few days. And, Sylvia noticed at home, she was like, boy, you really are, not fun this final few days. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I'm sorry.
It's a big project.
Yeah.
A lot of stress.
Yeah, but I would like to get better at the final part and being more realistic about what comes after.
Yeah.
You would think that after 11 reviews, I would have learned how to do that, but
Well, I think the problem is the scope changes.
Yeah.
Like, and you're older than you used to be.
That's also very true. Slow typing. Really? Just slow typing.
I had that realization this week. I was like, the podcast-a-thon was a lot easier when I was 32 than 39. It takes time. You gotta be patient with yourself.
This was the one this is the easiest on me of all of them, I think. At least of the 12-hour ones. I felt great.
Maybe the physical domination wore me out.
Yeah, you know what? It probably did. It probably did. But like this review was longer than last year, right? Like, I don't know if you would necessarily plan that, but it just is just based on the fact that there was more to write about.
There was a design, lots of iPad.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it. I have not finished it yet. I'm only a few chapters in, I'm afraid, but I'm enjoying it and I will get through it because I love to get through it. But I am going slow this year because I just, with all the travel, just didn't have the time. But I'm deep in the design section right now, which I knew I was going to enjoy. And I am. But I've got good news for you. iOS 26.1.
No.
The iOS 26.1 beta is out. I'll put a link in the show notes to 9to5Mac. And there's a bunch of tweaks. There's a lot of visual tweaks, which I guess kind of expected. And I've seen a bunch more kind of like linked on threads. It's like there's some stuff that's just changed, like just completely different. Like the the Photos app video scrubber just looks completely different, for example. But there are a bunch of tweaks throughout the system to the way that some stuff is being shown, like liquid glass elements, which you'd kind of assume. But I thought something specifically interesting to you, Federico, is that 9to5Mac also found reference to MCP support in app, like with MCP support coming to app intents. Quote from the 9to5Mac article: based on today's code, Apple plans to let developers use a system-level MCP integration to expose actions and functionalities within their apps to AI platforms and agents.
Yeah, I have some more details about this that I think I'm gonna write up in a story. So so it seems that there's this new framework in iOS 26.1 beta called Doors, like the band,
or like the objects for which you
objects which you open, exactly.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of references about MCP inside of this framework. And my understanding is that Apple is basically setting up a system where there's a local MCP server on iOS that sort of exposes functionalities from app intents to the server. So if you never played around with MCP, that's it's this sort of universal system for AI, for LLMs, to have additional tools, right? And these tools are essentially either search actions or actions that perform stuff. Like you can search, I don't know, your Notion page, or you can modify your Notion page. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all of the major players are supporting MCP. Now, what's interesting here is that it's unclear with this framework, because I could see Apple doing two things. I could see Apple say, well, we are going to rethink the thing we announced for Apple Intelligence and our own models and app intents. We are actually going to embrace the industry standard of MCP.
This was my first instinct when I read this article, which was
my first instinct was something else.
Okay.
Which is, it would be funny and interesting if Apple saw what Claude and Perplexity are doing in terms of integrating with local iOS frameworks like calendar and reminders and music. But obviously, Claude and Perplexity can only integrate with those frameworks because that's the only thing they have access to. As a third-party app, they cannot integrate with app intents from shortcuts and from other apps at all. And it would be interesting if Apple set this up in a way where other LLMs could also have additional tools from your iPhone or from your iPad or your Mac based on third-party apps. So imagine if in Claude you could say, well, I want you to process my tasks from, I don't know, Music Box on iOS. Or if Perplexity could work with the shortcut actions from Fantastical or something. Essentially like an MCP server managed by Apple with the sort of permission system and privacy system managed by Apple. I would imagine like a lot of permission screens and authorization screens, right? Which, I mean, and before you say, but what about sending data to third-party services? I mean, that is exactly what's going on in shortcuts when you connect an app intent to a web service. Like that is exactly what's going on. You can take right now today. You can take your data from Fantastical, from Things, from whatever app uses app intents, and you can send it off to the Notion API, to the Claude API, to the ChatGPT, whatever.
Well, and I guess also like anytime you ever use any app, you're always sending something somewhere.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes.
These aren't going to. My assumption is these aren't just going to do stuff on their own. Like you have to ask for something to occur for it to trigger some kind of MCP action. Like it's going to come from a user intent would be my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
So I think there are really two ways to that I could see this play out. One is, well, Apple is just going to embrace MCP as a way to rethink what they promised with their third-party app integrations and how Not necessarily how developers write those actions. Developers wouldn't be affected at all, but how the large language model, the foundation model that they're working on, and the new Siri that they're working on, I could see Apple just say, well, instead of whatever we were doing, we're just going to embrace the industry standard. Yeah. The other way could be, well, we know that our foundation model is not going to be as powerful as what people can do these days with ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity on their iPhones. And we see that, two of these LLMs, Claude and Perplexity, they have enabled some kind of minimal integration with iOS. What if we could pitch our platform and our unique, strong app ecosystem as an advantage for using AI from other companies on Apple devices? What if your apps, your third-party apps, could participate with these other LLMs, even though they're not our own foundation model? What if you could do it with an industry standard of MCP, but done, managed on device with the permission system that you control, authorizations for read and write, exactly how it works in other services? That would be interesting as a way for Apple to say, well, yeah, now your iPhone app ecosystem can also be part of this modern generation of LLMs.
It feels like I don't know if the easiest, but it feels like a way to get to a point where such a thing could exist, because there has been, since Apple announced the Apple Intelligence App Intents framework, there is a question of why would any app do this? Why would you just give Apple the control of your applications via Siri? Why would you do this? People, are you trying to get to a scenario where people aren't using your apps? They're Siri's just doing the stuff for you. But if there is going to be a standard, it makes sense for Apple to integrate with that, because then people don't have to go into Apple's system. Apple could just use that one, or App Intents, right? Depending on what people, I guess, as a developer wants to use. So I think that there is a logic to it, but it is just a thing that is funny that I guess if Siri wouldn't have been delayed, they wouldn't have even looked at this. They'd just be like, well, you can come with us or bust. But now they're kind of on the back foot, so maybe this is the right way to go.
Yeah.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by our friends at Steam Clock. Steam Clock software is a design and development studio that ships great mobile apps. They work with growing tech companies to level up their customer-facing experiences on both iOS and Android. Often, Steam Clock's clients know they need a great mobile app to grow their business, but they don't have the capacity to build one in-house, and that's where Steam Clock software comes in. I mean, even if you do an in-house, the first crack may be a bit janky. So what Steam Clock does is they work with their clients and they care and bring to life great customer experiences. Steam Clock can build apps using React Native and other cross-platform tools, but they also have deep expertise with building excellent native apps in Swift and Kotlin. They're also great at helping companies weigh the trade-offs of these different approaches. So if that sounds like you, your business is growing, you want your customers to have a great app experience, then visit steamclock.com/connected to get in touch. That's steamclock.com/connected. Get in touch with them and see how they can help your business. Our thanks to Steam Clock for their support of the show and all of Relay. It is new iPhone season. We have new devices in hand, and thought we could talk about our impressions, what we think so far. Federico, you ordered an iPhone Air as your phone for the next year. How is that going?
I love this thing. I really, really do. It's I was concerned about the camera and I was concerned about the battery. The battery's not really been a problem so far. I work from home most days, and so I can keep my phone on a charger in the afternoon to top up the battery some more. And when I'm not at home and I'm driving, I have to use wired CarPlay anyway, so that charges the phone. So I haven't, and I've been to the beach. I brought the MagSafe battery with me. Didn't really have to use it because it lasted me the whole day. And then when we were driving back, I just plugged my phone into my car, so that was also fine. Battery's not been an issue. The camera, I do miss my 5X, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's a compromise I'm willing to accept because of everything else about this phone. Just holding this phone, just how nice it feels, how it disappears into my pocket because I don't really feel it, how it doesn't hurt my wrist to hold it up when I'm reading something in the evening. In fact, I would say that this phone is actually changing my habits for unwinding at the end of the day. Like, I'm now reading articles and watching YouTube videos before going to sleep on my phone instead of my tablet because it's just so pleasant to hold with one hand. Like, this phone, if you wanted to sort of kick the bad habit of doom scrolling, like, this phone won't help because this phone is such a pleasure to use with one hand and just scroll. Screen looks great, performance is great. I'm having this one particular issue that Apple wanted me to file a feedback for iMessage not activating for my phone number and my phone number only. That seems to be an issue with a whole bunch of people on Reddit who recently switched to eSIM and then migrated from an old phone to the new iPhone. It'll get fixed eventually. Plus, I'm using my iCloud email for iMessage, so it's not a big deal. I really do love this thing. I love how it feels. And because I love so much of the design of this phone, how polished it is, how thin it is, I've been going caseless for the past week. And I do have options. I got the bumper from Apple. I got the sooty foam back. I really don't like them because they
sooty phone back. You're a sooty phone back. That's just how I initially want to respond when you say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a sooty phone back.
Yeah. I love this thing, and I love that it feels futuristic, and it's hitting the same notes as the iPhone 10.
Yes.
And whenever I look at it, and I think, isn't it so cool that most of the phone is in the plateau at the top? And it is cool. And I think this will be a really good exercise for me to get ready for next year for a foldable that, according to the rumors, it's going to be 2 of these things glued together. So yeah.
I think it's interesting that you compared it to the iPhone 10 because it really feels like the biggest change since then. You know, you could say on the Pro side, maybe since like the 12, right? When they went to the flat sides and sort of the corner, being filled with cameras. But this thing is different. I have both right now, and I've, several people have asked me, like, do you have the new phones? And I'll show them to them. And everyone's like, yeah, oh, wow, they made an Orange Pro. And then I hand them the Air and they're like, holy smokes, what is this? It is so different. It clearly has trade-offs. You mentioned the cameras, I think will be one that would be tricky for me because I look through my photo library. I do use the zoom a fair amount. But there is something about holding this phone that feels like the future, and that future is not fully here. So you do have some of the trade-offs, but if you're willing to accept those, or they work, they fit into your life, like you said, then this is really something to experience. It really is. It feels like a big moment.
Yeah. I mean, you saying about the no case, Federico, my hot take is that you should not use a case if you have an iPhone Air.
Yeah.
I just think you ruin it. Putting a case on it ruins it. Like, it takes the fun away. Like, this thing it's I think especially interesting to use when you have both. So like my phone is a Orange 17 Pro. Yes. And I bought the Air as my like Widgersmith phone essentially. And it is now actually going to take the place of my my Google Fold as my work phone because that's just where I am. Set up on a new Apple ID, so because it was becoming very difficult to take video and photos for some of the stuff that I'm doing and not have my own information in it. So I need something that's kind of siloed that's running iOS. So going between the two devices makes me appreciate the thinness and lightness more frequently, maybe, than because every time I pick it up, I'm like, my word. And like this, it is absolutely a marvel. I don't have any particular feelings about the things that people would most dislike about this phone because it's not my main phone, right? So like I'm not taking pictures on it that I care about, and I'm not using it as much as my other iPhone, so battery life just isn't a thing that I'm thinking about. So I kind of just have all of the upside when I use this device, and it is actually an incredible thing that they have made. Like, I think to be able to build something that is this powerful, just the fact that it has a ProMotion display, like, I'm so pleased that it does, but it's like wild that it does, as well as having like a Pro chip and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's just an incredibly impressive thing that they have done, and I really love this phone and I love using it. I don't know if it could be my only phone. Like I think I would miss the options for the camera, and I don't think the battery life would be enough for me. Just seeing the fact that like I will use on an average day, I will use the battery on my Pro phone. So like, and I get to low power mode, which would suggest that like when I'm at home, that I don't really charge my phone in the same way when I'm at home. Like I charge my phone when I'm at the studio by just putting my phone on my wireless charger. But I don't really have that at home. My wireless charger is by my bedside, and I don't typically take my phone and just put it by the bedside and like walk away or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I would definitely notice the battery life. But yeah, I mean, this is a phone that I would encourage people to get. Like if you think that you would like that, and you think that you could deal with the battery and deal with the camera, like if you're like not, if it doesn't immediately make you recoil, like I would recommend this phone because I just think that it is so awesome. Federico, do you have the battery pack?
The MagSafe one?
You do, don't you? I think, yeah, I remember you posting pictures of using it. Have you used it with the
not
Air?
Not yet. Not really.
Okay. It's like you would if you had to, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes. Whenever I know that I'm going out for a few hours, I take it with me, but I still haven't used it.
I do think the colors are amiss on this, like in a way that I don't understand. Like, so I have the blue one.
I got the black one. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, the black one is probably the best one. I got the blue one just because I was interested, and like in some lights, it's a pleasant blue, but most of the time it just looks white. And it is so interesting that they did this on a year where like the other phones will have great colors. So why did this one like? Does there always have to be a phone that has a bad range of colors? Like, do they have to do this? Are they like, is this some kind of like blood pact that someone in the Apple design team made? Like now that the Pro phones have got these beautiful, bright, bold colors, now the Air will get the not really colors. Like the gold and the blue are just like, they should have done a gold and blue, but like they didn't. It's very peculiar. Like I'm not really sure what they were going for with that, but the blue is there if you want it. So
yeah, we did themes in Widgetsmith to match the new phone colors we did in the last couple of years, and the sky blue one for the iPhone Air is like, is that actually blue? Like it's
so I'm running it. So like I have that theme on my phone right now because to match the blue. It just looks white. Yeah, it just looks white, and it's not awesome. The colors this time, I gotta say, not awesome.
Yeah, on the Pro side of things, I mean, this phone. I said this on Mac Power Users that comes out Sunday, but it reminds me of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. You know, before it was all like Thunderbolt and Touch Bar, and like as thin as possible, and when they redid them with Apple Silicon, it's like, no, we're gonna make this like a professional laptop with ports and battery life and thickness. And this phone kind of feels like comes from the same place. Like it's definitely a bit chunkier in the hand. It's got the huge camera plateau, but like it feels like a thing, like the way the new MacBook Pros do. I keep saying new, they've been out like 4 years, but you know what I mean. I really like it, and I really like the orange color. I think a friend of ours was saying that they might find it a bit obnoxious in the long term. And like, I guess I can see that, but I think it looks cool. And if you put it in a case, then you just get kind of the orange stripe across the back. And that's also nice. I did pick up Apple's tech woven case, and I don't know if I'm in the minority or not, but I'm not really impressed with it. Like the fabric is definitely different on the back, but also kind of can't shake the feeling that it's fine woven that's with like some wax stripped over it. But it's the rest of the case still feels too cheap for what it is. Like on mine, at least, kind of where like if you use your pinky to like hold your phone to support your phone, the edge that lands on your finger is sharp. Like it's not rounded over. You can feel the seams between the plastic and the fabric on the back. It's just not as premium feeling as I think that price point requires. So I did pick up the black leather Nomad case, which is the new version of it, which I'd used previously. And when I use a case, that'll be the case I use. I still think Apple is not quite where they need to be in terms of a premium product.
Yeah, the case is just not interesting to me. I bought the crossbody strap just because I was interested in what that was all about for the Air, and I got the bumper because I also was intrigued. But like, yeah, the bumper, you still can feel the thinness of the phone, but it takes it away from the sides. And the strap is an interesting thing. Like, it's not a product that I would want for myself, but I absolutely can see why somebody would, and I think Apple did a decent job with it, except for the way that you attach it to the phone. Like you're kind of just left with these dangly bits when you take the strap off your body. Like if you remove the strap from the case, you just have these like little dangles from the bottom of your phone, and like I don't think that's a very elegant way of doing this. Like I see why they did it the way that they did, but I would have liked to have seen them do something a bit different. My kind of feelings on the 17 Pro, irrespective of the Air, this feels like a dense little block of a phone. Like,
yeah.
It has a very different feeling to the phones that came before it. It is noticeably heavier and it feels different, right? And one of the things they've done to make it feel nicer is to round the edges, right? So like the rounding of the edges makes it feel comfortable in the hand, but like it is definitely a thing. Like to me, like my kind of the way I feel about the phone is weird. Like when I'm holding it, like it almost, the screen feels smaller to me, but it isn't. It's bigger. I don't know if it's the aluminium maybe doesn't poke out as much as the rails did on the other phone, kind of like visually. Like I'm not actually sure what's going on.
I think it also may be the color. Like I really noticed the rails on this phone.
Yeah.
Even in a case, because you get like a little strip of orange around it. And of course, we chose the bright color. I'm not complaining about that. I'm psyched they did a good bright color on the Pros. But yeah, I think you're right. There is something to that. And I think, I think part of it may be too that this phone, it feels like a thing that, yes, it's going to scratch. It's anodized aluminum, but like, I think it's going to be cool if it gets dinged up, right? Like that very famous photo of the first iPhone, maybe we can find it and put it in the show notes, but where it's like just destroyed. I think it was carried by an Apple designer for years. And I think this phone could do that. Like I'm not worried about scratching mine. Anodized aluminum is going to scratch, but maybe that's part of like what makes this phone cool, that it's not this, or doesn't feel at least like this fragile piece of jewelry that the iPhone Pro has felt like for years, especially in the stainless steel era, right? When the edges were really shiny, which is what they did on the Air, but the Air also doesn't feel like a piece of jewelry. It's like its own thing, kind of in its own new category. But the Pro doesn't feel as like fragile or dainty as it once did, which I like. I think that's good.
Yeah, so we have a gate. It's called Scratchgate.
Scratchgate. Joe, the phones are scratching.
So I have
my voice,
especially the orange one, I guess.
Orange.
I have two quotes that I'm going to read from Chance Miller at 9to5Mac. Apple tells me it has determined these imperfections are caused by worn MagSafe stands used in some Apple stores, so people were finding scratched iPhones in Apple stores and posting pictures of them. It also clarifies that the marks aren't scratches, but rather material transfer from the stand to the phone that is removable with cleaning. And then also, the iPhone 17 Pro's camera plateau edges have similar characteristics to the edge of the anodized aluminium cases on other Apple products, including other iPhone models and MacBooks. While those edges are durable and undergo Apple's rigorous testing, the company says users may see normal wear and tear, including small abrasions over time. Here's my feeling on this. I think this is an absolute nothing story.
Yeah.
Scratchgate. I just think it's honestly, I just think it's a ridiculous thing for people to be spending time on. And my feeling on it is, I guess, like people looking for clout on social media or website impressions were just unhappy that the Air didn't bend, so they had to find something else to focus on.
That's a good take.
Like people were so excited about bending the Air, but that didn't work, and the Air is super durable, and so they're like, "Oh, okay, like here's some scratches." And there's like some iFixit stuff, and iFixit have been able to scratch phones or whatever, but I just don't know what people expect, like that these things that we kind of throw around our lives and like shove into pockets and throw into bags, like that they can somehow fight against physics. Like I just don't understand what the expectations that people have is here.
Can I say something?
I want you to say it, whatever it is.
I find the whole like, oh, is it gonna break? Is it gonna scratch? Like subculture really weird.
It is weird. It's incredibly weird.
Like, if I could have a conversation with some of these people who are really into like, there are entire channels dedicated to like, oh, which level is it gonna scratch? Like, let me ask you, like in your own home, do you just go around and try and scratch and bend stuff in your home? Or do you pay attention to your furniture, to your, I don't know, to your clothes, to your shoes, to your pets? Like, or do you just go around and try and damage stuff? Because I don't get it. Like, you just spent €1,000 on a phone. What, you want to be an idiot and try and scratch it? Or,
when the video makes $10,000, then it's a business expense.
Sure. See, that's a different conversation, though.
Yes, there are people that do this, and it's like, you know, there's like the jerry rig everything is like the guy, right? Like it's his thing, and he does it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. It's like, but he's made a business on it, right? So it's like, well, of course he's going to do it.
Good for him.
It's the people chasing it that I'm even more perplexed about personally, right?
It's
like
this weird obsession. Yeah, okay.
Like the people that buy iPhones and then just like throw them on the ground when they get outside. Like,
yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? Like, I just don't.
Throw it on.
I just don't get it. Very strange to me.
Very strange. Yeah.
So I have no, I will say I put the iFixit teardowns. Both phones scored a 7 out of 10, which is, I reckon, probably about as good as an iPhone could ever score on the iFixit scale.
And you should go watch those. It's always interesting to see how these iPhones are put together. The Pro phone is built differently than ever before because it has that aluminum unibody. They did, I think, rightfully complain, like, yeah, it's kind of a bummer you have to go to the screen to get anything. The previous phones are like a sandwich you could take apart from the front or the back. But the Air is clearly the winner in terms of the amount of time it got in engineering. Not the whole phone is not in the plateau, but most of it is. And it is just wild to see them take these things apart, and the amount of work that goes into these. Like, it's hard to imagine. I mean, we know, right, that these phones take years to develop and build and then manufacture, right? Then you run into a manufacturing problem. You have to redesign something. But there have been very few years that I have really felt like, oh, this is really clear that this takes a long time. And this year, both the Pro and the Air struck me as like, yeah, these things have been in the hopper for a while.
Yep. So a few other things that I wanted to mention on the Pro. Just fundamentally, I just think it's really funny that we've gotten to the point that an iPhone needs like a specific cooling system. That is just like a funny thing to me. Like, how did we get here? That like the iPhone chip is so powerful that now it needs like a vapor chamber cooling system. I just find that to be funny.
It's wild.
And I will say my iPhone 17 Pro, I've not noticed it getting hot.
Nope.
Which, I mean, my 16 Pro was a daily occurrence that it was getting hot. So I think it's doing the thing, especially considering the fact that my phone is like downloading millions of messages and tens of thousands of photos, you know, still. I much prefer the 4x zoom over the 5x zoom, and then having the 8x is great. That is just like a better balance for me.
Yeah. How has the 8x zoom been for you? I mentioned this in our group thread, but I have, at least inside, like in dimmer light, the 8X seems to struggle to focus for me a little bit. Like, it'll do it. It's not like it's broken, but it takes a beat. And that's not something I've seen on an iPhone in a long time. But it's only the 8X and only like indoor kind of, in the evenings.
I mean, it's taken a second. This is not a thing that I would think was weird.
Okay.
If like I'm looking at it now and it's like maybe I'm seeing what you're seeing, like it takes a second to focus. I think what might actually be happening is it's doing some denoise smoothing.
It might be. Yeah.
Because when you look at the original image, it's quite noisy and then it clears up. So I think something's going on there, because also you've got this like there's a slight lag, right, on the 8 times when you move it around. Like I think it's the stabilization actually is what's going on. Like there's something in software that's happening when you go into the 8 times, especially inside. And so that might be what you're seeing. Like it takes a second to like kind of initialize, and maybe that you're seeing it that way.
Maybe. It's not a problem, and it does do it. I've just noticed it a little bit. But yeah, the 4X is a really good range, and it looks great. All the cameras look great. And even side by side, I took none of them. I can't share any of them just because of where I was, but taking some nighttime photos outside last night with the Pro in the air, like standing in the same place, like taking a photo of a building that's lit up at night. The Pro is better than the Air, but they're really close. Like you really have to pixel peep to see that the Air is maybe not quite on par with the Pro on the main shooter. But if you can get by without the zoom levels and you want the thin phone, like by all means get the Air. The Air seems incredible. But like you, Mike, I think the cameras keep me in the Pro camp this year, even though I really want to like understand the Air. Like I'm going to keep this phone. Like it's going to be either put my work number on it or have it as a kind of a screenshot testing machine for Dave. But having this around, I think, is important, because Federico's definitely right. Like this is one half of a folding iPhone. Like this is why they built this. And I think the more we understand this phone now, the more we're going to understand that phone when it comes.
Yeah. And I'll say the orange, I love it. I see why some people might find it to be, it's a lot, right? Like it's a lot to have this as your daily phone. But I'm on it big time. I'm a big fan. And I really like the gloss portion. I like that there's like a little two-tone going on.
Yeah.
The color kind of changes depending on the amount of light. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm very happy this year. I think this is, as expected, a great phone year. I think no matter what you get. None of us have the 17, but I expect people that buy the iPhone 17 are having... I mean, if you're coming from a 16 to a 17, you might actually be having the best experience.
Yeah, always on and promotion.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, the base 17, I think I said this in the Ricky's episode, like that's the biggest upgrade year over year in an iPhone in a minute.
Well, except for the Air, because there wasn't one. So you've gone from, I'm being an idiot, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. I apologize. There was no need.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Gusto. You started your business to do what you're good at, not to spend hours calculating things like tax withholdings. And that's where Gusto comes in, to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR, so you can focus on why you started your business in the first place. Gang, this is me. We started Relay to make these shows, but over time we had to do a lot of extra stuff, and Gusto is awesome. While we don't use it at Relay, I do use it in my own business, and we use it at CrossFord, and have used it for years. It takes a lot of the worry out of these things. If you're like me, you're always a little concerned that you've messed up some important paperwork with the government. You don't want to do that with taxes. You don't want to do that with payroll. And Gusto makes that easy to get right, because it's an online payroll and benefit software built for small businesses like mine. It's all-in-one, remote-friendly, and incredibly easy to use. So you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. It has automatic payroll tax filing, simple direct deposits, health benefits, commuter benefits, workers' comp, 401k, you name it. Gusto makes it simple and has options for nearly every budget. And you get direct access to certified HR experts to help you figure out what's going on in tough HR situations. Small businesses often lack that, and Gusto is there to help close that gap. So try Gusto today at gusto.com/connected, and you will get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's 3 months of free payroll at Gusto, Gusto, gusto.com/connected. Our thanks to Gusto for their support of the show and all of Relay.
Do we all have AirPods Pro 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Do either of you feel mixed about it?
Next topic. Yes.
Moving on to the Apple
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
It's not a clear win,
Yes.
I don't think.
Now, this is weird, right? Because all the reviews are like, slam dunk. And I feel like everyone I'm talking to, at least at this point, is like, yeah, maybe not, though. Maybe not slam dunk.
A friend of the show and Comfort Zone co-host Matt Birchler had a similar take last night on his blog. It's like, everyone was raving in the reviews, and I'm like, I'm not really sure about this product. Look, I'm coming to the AirPods Pro 3 after a year of AirPods 4, which I absolutely love. So it is being, right now, it's still ongoing, a challenge for me to get reaccustomed to the in-ear tips, which I don't love, especially after I got used to the feeling of, more freedom of the non-sealing AirPods 4.
Yeah. They're too firm.
They're very firm.
Yeah.
But two things I will say, like one positive, one negative. The one positive, I was at the supermarket today, needed to do some shopping, enabled the noise cancellation, and it was freaky. Like I was basically shopping in silence.
Yeah.
Just it was canceling a lot. And these
it is
tips
astoundingly good.
are giving me a really, really good seal, much more than the AirPods Pro 2 that I used to use last year.
Let me ask you, did you change the size of the tips?
No, I went with the default. I did the test and it said good seal. And I was like, cool.
Can I recommend you go down one?
Yeah, I've heard that. I will try. I will try it.
I went down one and it was better. And then today I went down another in one ear.
Okay.
Because my ears are different sizes. Like
all right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. It's a strange thing. But now it's overall more comfortable for me. Like I feel like I'm having to do less like shoving them in my ear. And I did the ear test. I went down in both. I did the ear fit test. And on the right ear, it was like, that's the wrong size. And that's as I would have expected. So I went back up once. So I now have like extra small on my left ear and small on my right ear. And the AirPods said it's a good seal. It feels like a good seal to me. And it is more comfortable. Like the firmness of it is I think seeing a lot of people are better off going down at least one size than they would have had on the AirPods Pro 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
I was a medium, and they were uncomfortable. Like when I put them in the first time, I was like, oh no, like this is not going to work. And I had seen some people and talked to some people that, hey, we should try going down a size. So I went to the small, and it comes with 5 sizes, which is great. Several Beats headphones have done that for years, and the AirPods have now caught up with that. And so I went to the small, and the fit is better, but to me at least, and I think it's like the change in shape. Maybe it's just they're not as comfortable as the 2s, or maybe it's the foam, and I need to give it some time. Like maybe it will
loosen a little bit.
Yeah, but something about it right now is. I mean, they sound good, but they're not as comfortable.
I have gotten more used to it as well, though. Like, I have had already something I didn't think was going to happen, which is like I forgot that they were in. Like, so I think I am getting used to it now, and so I think it's it's getting better. But they are not as immediately comfortable as AirPods Pro 1 and 2 were. Like that is without a shadow of a doubt, they are not as comfortable. And so it is very interesting to me that Apple have sacrificed comfort for better noise cancellation. I'm not sure that's the right call. I don't know. But like I will say, I've been on a flight with these. It is unbelievably good. It is to the point now where I will no longer be bringing my AirPods Max on trips because I don't need them anymore. So like the comparison is like, so I took a bunch of flights on the main flight to the US, like the flight from here to America, because then I had to take an internal flight to get to Memphis. My first leg, I was there on my AirPods Max, and then I just had my AirPods Pro in, and I was in like one of those small planes, and I had to have the volume of my iPad basically at maximum to still be able to hear. When I did this on the way home with AirPods Pro 3, I had my iPad at half volume, and it was perfectly, and it sounded great. So for planes, which is I think is very important for a lot of people when it comes to noise cancellation, excellent, like really good. And I will say as well, like I have been able to notice that there is more bass in these headphones. Like
me too.
It is noticeably different, even to someone who does not really hear this kind of stuff. Like the music sounds different, and one of the things is it feels bassy. Like I can hear that.
Yeah, it's got that sound profile, and that for me is a positive because it's something that I appreciate from in-ear buds.
Yeah.
My negative was the transparency mode sounds more artificial to me. It sounds, I don't want to say hissy because it's not that. It sounds, I don't know. It sounds less natural than before.
Do you use transparency or adaptive?
Oh, transparency. Yeah.
Try adaptive.
Nope.
Try. When did you last try it?
A few months ago.
Try it now. Trust me, with the AirPods Pro 3. Just give it another go. Because I have used adaptive, but when they're set up, they're transparency and noise cancellation.
But then it's adaptive, isn't it the thing that it decides when to cancel and when to let stuff through?
Very seldom goes into cancellation. It's just like if something is very loud around you, just give it a go again. Because adaptive sounds better.
That is like against my principles.
Just even if you don't stick to it, just try it and tell me if you like. Obviously not right now. Just try it and tell me if you think that the transparency sounds better, because it does to me. Like the regular transparency mode doesn't sound to me as kind of warm as it used to, but adaptive does to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I have one more complaint, which I'm surprised you haven't brought up already, Federico.
Which
the
is?
LED light on the case is way too bright.
Oh my God, it's so bright.
It illuminates my entire bedroom.
Oh my God.
What are they doing to me?
I took my AirPods last night. Again, Sylvia was sleeping.
Yep.
I pick up the case and suddenly there's like this green flash.
Unbelievable.
All over the bedroom. I was like, oh geez. And I'm covering the AirPods with my hand.
I have to put my thumb over the spot where I know the light is, so I don't wake up my entire family.
You can put these things up at an intersection at night and people are going to know when to drive their cars or not. Like,
it is.
Why is it so bright?
Well, what they've done is they've put the light behind the case. It used to be a little cutout, right? And so my expectation is they've made the light brighter so it shines through the plastic. But it means the light is too bright.
Yeah. Yeah. But good point. Very bright, very bright. That happened to me last night.
Mike, I know when you were here that you were not a fan of the size of the case because it's a little bit wider. It's a little bit shallower, but a little bit wider. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've gotten used to it, but it's just I'm annoyed about the fact that the case is bigger. Like, I'm just annoyed about that. Like, it's like, why is the case bigger? Like, I know why, but why? Why are you doing this? Like, I don't like that they made it bigger, but I've gotten used to that. Because you kind of just like, this is just I'm only using one set of AirPods, and so like you just kind of forget. But it's funny that it's bigger. Overall, it is really weird that I have so many complaints about this product, but I still do really like it. But like, I think I am just surprised about what I think are a bunch of steps backwards in such a popular.
The twos were so good. You know, the twos were perfect. And they sort of messed with things that didn't need messing with.
Yes, it seems like Apple were trying to do two things, which is to quote unquote improve the fit, which I'm not sure that I just don't know who they're improving it for. Like, I guess there are people that it does improve it for, but like I'm not one of them. Like, it's not improved. It's not necessarily worse. Now I've kind of got it dialed in, but it's not improved. and also to enhance the noise cancellation. And I'm just not convinced at the trade-offs that they have made to achieve that, I think, is kind of where I am. But I still a great product. I still use it for hours a day, every day, and I'm happy with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not an overall improvement like the 2s were over the 1.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Federico, I think you were the only one of the 3 of us that got a new Apple Watch. Is that right? You got an Ultra 3. Do you have any thoughts on it at all? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you said no, but
not really.
Yeah.
I have a watch with a battery at 100% health again, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really have any thoughts. I mean, for a second when I unboxed the watch and I was comparing it to my old one, for a minute I thought, did I accidentally buy an old Apple Watch Ultra? I went in and checked my Apple Store receipt in my email because I could not, for the life of me, I couldn't tell a difference between the 2 of them. And John was like, no, but the screen is slightly bigger and you will see the difference in the edges. And I was like, I thought I was going crazy. I was looking at it and I was like, I have no idea what kind of difference I'm supposed to look for. But then I checked my order. It said Apple Watch Ultra 3. For my use of the Apple Watch, which is, I just want to have an Apple Watch that checks on my heart and sends me notifications and is a convenient way to control home devices and also has to last for longer than a day. It's fine. It's just very, very, very boring for the kind of Apple Watch Ultra user I am, which is probably okay because I know that I'm not the target user for this product. I'm just a user who buys it because it's the biggest watch Apple makes with the biggest battery. So it's okay for it to be boring, I suppose. But it's quite boring, to be fair.
So, Mike, now that you're back on the watch, as we discussed, what are your plans here?
Oh, I mean, I have an Apple Watch Ultra 2.
Oh, that's right. You're not on the 1.
Oh, you're fine.
So I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fine for another
My
year.
battery life isn't what it once was, but like I'm not doing nothing. I'm not getting a 3.
I lasted a year in that situation, in your
Yeah.
shoes, and it's okay. It's fine. Just wait until next year.
Well, I
Get
guess
a
now
series.
I'm holding out for like a redesign next year, right? That was
Or
the
this-
rumor a long time ago of Apple Watch X.
Apple Watch X.
X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Square edges,
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Flat sides.
Steve Jobs Heritage Edition.
Fully clear, just a piece of glass on a string that I put around my wrist. That's what I'm looking for.
That would be sick.
It really wouldn't be. It'd be terrible.
The liquid glass is the watch itself, you know.
Okay, so you just go to an Apple store, they pour some liquid glass on your wrist, and it just forms.
It's probably really hot. Isn't
There
glass
you
really
go.
hot when it's liquid?
Yeah,
Yes.
but don't worry about
It
it.
will kill you. Yes.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. This episode of Connected is made possible by Ecamm. If you're looking to get into video and you use the Mac, Ecamm Live is where you should go. It's the leading video production and live streaming studio built for the Mac. One of my favorite things about it is how flexible it is. You can use Ecamm Live to stream to YouTube, Zoom, we're going to talk about that again in a second, Instagram Live, Twitch, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, if that's your thing, all sorts of options, all built in and native to Ecamm. And all the tools in Ecamm are going to feel familiar to you as a Mac user. It's great for streaming, recording, podcasting, and presenting. You can screen share, use multiple cameras, and even direct the show in real time with their live camera switcher. Another great thing is that you can use Ecamm to provide a personal touch on your videos. You can add logos, titles, lower thirds, and graphics, drop in video clips, bring on an interview guest, use a green screen, and so much more. If you're on the pro level plan, you can enjoy Ecamm for Zoom. Automatically send Ecamm Live audio and video into a Zoom meeting, webinar, or event, and you can add 8 participants from Zoom as camera sources in your broadcast or recording. Plus, get automatic individual participant audio and video recordings, and you can add Zoom chat messages as text overlays in your broadcast. Ecamm's members are marketing professionals, podcasters, musicians, church leaders, bloggers, and content creators of all kinds. And you can get 1 month free by going to ecamm.com/connected and using the code CONNECTED at checkout. That's 1 month free of Ecamm Live at Ecamm, ECAMM, ecamm.com/connected. Our thanks to Ecamm for their support of the show and all of Relay. We had some listener questions about the new products. That's a different podcast. Stop trying to bring Jason in here, okay?
I realize now I can't do lasers.
First, Jason's computer was inside my computer, and now his podcast is inside my podcast.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly. He said that he didn't say that.
It's hard. It's hard to know.
You quoted him, so this
you
is
gotta
actually
loosen
good
up,
follow-up.
man. You gotta chill.
Yeah, can you just get it together and loosen up?
Yeah.
Can you just do that?
I will say, my daughter got in my truck as Upgrade Plus, the last chapter was starting to play, and she's like, "Wow, they're really mean to you." I was like, "I know, thank you."
That's how it goes. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Derek wrote in, "I'm going from an iPhone 13 Pro to a 17 Pro, but I'm curious if the three of you use any of the features I've been missing: the action button, photo styles, and camera control."
Man, Derek's gonna have a good time.
All of them are underwhelming. It's my hot take. I'm sorry, but they are.
I'm gonna go to bat for 2 out of 3. Right?
Yeah, the action button is the better one of the three. Photo styles, nobody really understands, and camera control, Apple is backtracking on it, and they will get rid of it at some point.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of it, but I think they're gonna make it a capacitive area on the phone. That's what I think they're gonna do. Because I think over time they want to make visual intelligence a thing, and like that's how you can get to that. But I don't think we're going to be doing that swiping anymore.
My take is that will be slowly but surely repurposed as the AI button instead of camera control.
Maybe so. I would be sad about it because I like having the button thing, but whatever. I'd also get over it in about 20 minutes, I think. I like having camera control as just a way to open the camera from wherever I am. Mm-hmm. But that's it. I don't take pictures with it. I don't swipe on it. And it is fascinating that when you set up a new phone, it defaults to turning the swiping stuff off if you need to know what Apple thinks about camera control now.
Yeah. They're going to touch bar it out of existence, or it's going to evolve, change.
Oh my God.
It's got to change.
That is a good analogy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I really think they're going to go to what we remember the original rumors of like a capacitive area. Like that was the original rumor of the action button, that it wasn't an actual physical button. I think we're going to get to something. I think we'll get something like that. Anyway, the action button's great if you put something useful on it. If you don't put something useful on it, it's not good. And like for me, I use the action button so many times a day because I have that's how I enter tasks into all of my different task systems. Is I press the action button and then choose where I want it to go. And so that for me is like really good. This is a shortcut that I made.
Yes.
Photographic styles I am a fan of because I used to use it and I think the new system is better and it allows me to make some tweaks and I just leave one style on all the time, but I'm able to better dial in my images than what I think Apple's system does.
I hope to have your patience one day.
Really?
I really do.
Yes, I set it up 2 years ago and I've never touched it.
But when you mean dialing in the look, is that something that you do frequently?
I did it 2 years ago and then I haven't touched it. I found like a recipe, I'll say, that worked for me. It's I just made a small tweak to the gold setting, and that is is exactly the image style that I like.
But if that's what you did, does it make sense to have this whole thing where you're supposed to adjust settings and have integration inside the camera?
It
feels to me like it's over-engineered, just like camera control is.
Yeah, maybe. But just the general photo, you don't have to go in and tweak it. You can just use one of the presets, and it's and they're good. And I like that those presets exist because there's a bunch of nice tones in there. But yeah, the little thumb pad is quite a bit of software design. It's There's a lot going on in there. I
Yeah.
will say it's worth opening photographic styles and just having a swipe through the ones that they give you as presets and see if you like one of them more. I think the warm and gold are like really nice, but that's just the type of tone that I like my images to have. And then I just went in and kind of just adjusted it a little bit so it would bring down some of the shadows and contrast.
I saw a preset by Tyler Stallman, friend of the show, that was linked by Chance Miller, friend of the show, on 9to5Mac. And so I was like, oh, you know what? Sylvia has been complaining about the quality of the pictures taken on her 16 Pro. I'm going to go in there and enable this photographic style. And I did. And after 24 hours, Sylvia comes to me and she's like, why are all my pictures yellow?
That'll do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not really into this gold amber. Like, I don't even know what tone means. Like, what are the two values, tone and color? Like, aren't those like supposed to be the same word? Like tones and colors? I don't know. Maybe I'm too ignorant and stupid to appreciate photographic style. Just give me a preset. Like, it used to be so beautiful. You would go in there into your photos. Now even editing photos is difficult. Like,
yeah,
you
but
would go in there and be like,
the
standard. No, if there was a way for me to just turn off photographic styles altogether and just go back to what it used to be, just standard, vibrant, black and white. Like, I don't want to have...
Ignore the little touchpad thing. And they are.
No, I cannot ignore gold, something that I see. That's my problem.
Well,
I don't want to see it.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
I can't help that, I'm afraid.
I know.
I wished I could. I wished I could help you.
I know, because you're very kind. Yeah, I know.
But I can't. But it is, I know you're looking for filters. That's what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Life used to be much simpler in many different ways, but including this one.
The problem was, Federico, people kept taking pictures of old iPhones and saying it looked better. And that's why you have photographic styles. So if you blame Threads.
Oh, always.
Yeah, blame Threads. Threads is the problem. Threads is the problem for all of this stuff. I guess Twitter was probably doing it too, but I didn't see that. But I know that there's been a lot of posts on Threads like, hey, look, I have an iPhone 4 and look how much better these photos are. It's like, no, because they just look like they're taken from a disposable camera and people like nostalgia.
It's true.
That's why if you want that, just go buy an iPhone 4 and use that as your camera, right? Like it's available to you. Or like use one of these apps that will make your pictures look like they're made on film.
No. Eric says, I wonder if the rumored camera in the AirPods are for accessibility, because you can already use your iPhone camera to tell you if the door is there or what it says on the door. I think this is a good angle. I think I would be curious, like, will they be only for accessibility? I mean, there will be an accessibility story.
This is not the thing. They're not like, hey, we put cameras on every AirPods because there are people with vision impairment.
No, I don't think he's saying it's only for accessibility. I think it's part of the story.
Also for access. Yeah, I think there will be an accessibility story for sure.
There is for every Apple product.
There is for every Apple product. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But they will be labeled AI cameras or something.
Yes,
Apple intelligence cameers. Yeah. It's gonna be that.
It takes a picture of a dog and it tells you it's spaghetti. It's like,
yeah.
Thank you.
What was it? A different breed. It's like here's a dog.
Which Tichy, make a note of this for a future Ricky. Fascinating, because as we know, the local on-device model does not have image recognition capabilities.
Yeah, we definitely all knew that.
Yeah, I like how you said I had nope. I mean, people know. I didn't know.
We talked about this, or maybe it was in my brain. But yes, the on-device model does not have vision features. So if you're shipping these AirPods with cameras, we'll see.
Josh asks, do you find it weird that at the iPhone event, Apple did not take any time to recap iOS 26 like years past? It was very odd in what information they left out of the keynote.
I don't think so. There's only so much time, and iOS 26 got a lot of press over the summer.
Mm-hmm. There were 4 iPhones.
And watches and AirPods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think it was the first time that Like they didn't mention the new OS, and you had to find out the release date in the press release and in the web page. So
I'm not
these
saying
events,
that Josh is saying this, but I've seen people say this, and I think what people are trying to get at is like Apple are ashamed of liquid glass, which I guarantee you they aren't.
No.
Like
No,
whether
they're
you like it
not.
or not, what I can tell you is that company is not ashamed of what they've done. They are proud.
No,
of what
they
they've
are
done.
not. They are not ashamed. There are other things they should be ashamed of, but not liquid glass, I'm afraid.
Yes, and they leave those things out of keynotes too.
Yes, they do.
And Julian. I'm going with Julian because there is an accent in this, so I'm going to just assume that every consonant
Julian,
is soft.
because the accent is on the A, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. It looks like Shazam, despite being developed by Apple, has no liquid glass updates. And strangely, if you look at the screenshots in the App Store, they're still showing the app on iPhones with the old notch on the top. What are your thoughts on this? Like, I need to go look at this. I didn't see this.
My thoughts on this is that I can tell you that Apple Music Classical, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Got liquid glass.
Why does the App Store play music now? Why does it do this? I don't want the soundtrack of Honkai Star Rail just because I opened the App Store.
Yeah.
Why is this happening to me?
Engagement.
Can I stop this? Why did it do this?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Tim Cook's Apple, man. It's falling apart.
That's what they should be ashamed of.
Yeah. Apple Music Classical got liquid glass yesterday. I think the thing worth keeping in mind about Apple.
Oh man, these screenshots are terrible. It's like an iPhone 11 or something in here. What are they doing?
I think Jason has mentioned this a bunch of times on Upgrade and on Six Colors over the years. Apple is a big organization, obviously.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people working in design, like frameworks. But when it comes to the apps, those teams are smaller than you think. And you have to imagine that, there's obviously like a scale of importance, like Safari, Messages, Apple Music. And then you start going down, not to devalue, obviously, those apps. It's just a matter of scale and how many people use those. You have to imagine that people who use shortcuts, my beloved, are fewer people than use iMessage, right? It's only normal. And so you go down and down the list of apps that deserve and require a big team, and you reach I don't want to say the bottom of the barrel, but I'm also kind of saying that.
I could say it maybe slightly differently in the same way. The apps that are like wholly owned subsidiaries.
Yes, also they were acquired, and so you reach the Apple Music Classical, the Shazam, what's the other one I'm thinking
Freeform.
of?
No,
not
Freeform.
No,
that's not an example.
No,
Pixelmator is now.
Pixelmator, thank you.
There's the one we always talk about, Stephen. What is it called?
FileMaker.
FileMaker.
Yeah,
that's it.
you reach that, and it's like very finite resources and people, and different prioritizations, right? And so you gotta wait, and some things got lost in the shuffle, like App Store screenshots, for example. And I guess it's just how it works. And also, does Beats Music also have a liquid glass identity now? Probably not. Like it's kind of weird when it comes to these technically Apple, but also not really Apple products. The other argument could be Shazam is multi-platform. They probably want to keep it one consistent look everywhere. I don't know.
Which is funny because Apple hates when other developers do that.
Yeah. Are they doing... I saw that Apple Music on Android got a big version 5. Does it have liquid glass? Probably. Or even a fake liquid glass? Probably not.
Probably not.
So, yeah.
I think that does it. If you have feedback or follow-up, you can send it to us. There's a link in the show notes form on the website. You can also get Connected Pro, which is the longer ad-free version of the show that we do each and every week. If you want to find more of us online, you can find Federico's work at macstories.net, and he is on a bunch of podcasts over there. And you can find Mike on many shows over here and his work at Cortex Brand. And of course, he blogs at theenthusiast.net.
And you'd be blogging,
Be blogging. You can find my writing at 512 Pixels, and I co-host Mac Power Users here on Relay each and every Sunday. And of course, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. We would love you to join our support of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Please go to stjude.org/relay and donate today. I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this week's episode possible, Steam Clock, Gusto, and Ecamm. And until next time, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.